Alright, in this video I'm going to cover one of my favorite pedals. It's called the Blue Note pedal. It's from J-Rocket Engineering. Now, why do I like this pedal so much? Stick around and you're going to find out. So the first thing that I like about this pedal is the fact that it's built like a tank, number one. Number two, it's an overdrive pedal and it's got the right amount of overdrive. The very first thing that I noticed when I plugged into this pedal, as I'm going to demo right now, is it is not overbearing. In other words, I use two amps mainly. One is a Princeton Reverb, the other one is a Tweed Deluxe. So I don't want the output of my playing to interfere, and this pedal does not interfere with that at all. It complements it beautifully with the right amount of overdrive. If you look at my settings over here, I have the volume at 12, the gain is all the way down to 0, the tone is 0, and there's a fatness knob that is down to 0, and there's a hot button in the middle over here that's also turned off. So this is just the volume, because otherwise you won't be able to hear anything. So this is how it sounds. Okay? I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to slowly increase the gain. I'm going to put the gain to about 3 o'clock. Sorry, not 3, 9 o'clock. And then see what happens. I'm going to crank it up to 12 o'clock. You can see that it's slowly trying to break up. Now it's at 3 o'clock. Now you can see the real crunch sound. I love the sound. Now keep in mind that this overdrive sound that you're hearing, this is not overbearing in the sense that it's not going to deeply clip your sound and push you into the distortion territory. It does not. But it gives you the right amount of crunch. Keep in mind that my amp, I'm using a Princeton Reverb right now, is not, it is barely at the point of breakup, just under that, and then I'm using this pedal to push it over. The other thing is, some people say that some of the other pedals that I've used, the overdrive pedals, when you try to use that predominantly to get the crunch sound, behind the scenes you can get some clear tones and kind of makes it sound a little fakey. This is exactly the opposite. You won't even know there's this pedal here, as you can see. So one more time. See that crunch? It's absolutely gorgeous sounding. Now I'm going to crank it all the way. That's as far as it would go. Okay, now let's hear it. A little bit more, right? Keep in mind that I have not touched any of the other knobs. Now I have not cranked up the amp for two reasons. Number one, my room just cannot take it. The other thing is my microphone will start freaking out if I crank this and pop a little bit more. So I'm keeping it a little bit on the lower side deliberately, just so that the audio is not terrible. Otherwise you're probably going to run into a lot of echo and it kind of defeats the purpose. Hopefully you'll be able to get a sense of it. Now I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to turn this gain I'm going to turn the gain all the way down because I want to show you what the tone knob does, and then we can, after I demonstrate all these functions, we can do a combination of it and switch around. Okay, so the tone knob, before it sounds like this with the tone knob all the way down. Right, now I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn the tone knob to 12 o'clock. Bring the tone knob all the way up. Try that one more time. Here we go. Turn all the way down. Okay. Tone at 12. Tune all the way up, cranked it all the way up. There you go. Now let's mix the tone with a little bit of gain. I'm going to put the gain to 12 o'clock. Here we go. Oops. I'm going to crank up the gain and the tone all the way. Here we go. I'm pretty sure at this point the audio is kind of completely messed up. I will try to clean it up, but I can't promise anything. So here we go. I'm going to tone the tone down a little bit, both at 12. Here we go. Alright, I think I can manage with gain at about that point right there. A little bit of fatness to it. So what this knob does is, this really depends on whether you're using a single coil or a humbucker. That fatness knob essentially trims the high end. So, sorry, it trims the low end. My mistake. It trims the low end. So I am using humbuckers. I don't have a single coil. I do have P90s, but I'm just going to demonstrate what this fatness tone can do. But if you have a Stratocaster, you should be able to experiment with it. Anyway, here we go. So this is the fatness knob all the way down. And I'm going to turn it up to 12 o'clock to give you a... Now I'm going to change a... Fatness turned all the way up, as you can see. Now I'm not saying that this guitar sounds like Les Paul by any means, but it definitely has a Les Paulish kind of touch. For the purists over there, don't slam me. This is a PRS with humbuckers. It's closer to a Fender Stratocaster, if you can imagine that, with humbuckers. Although that would not be a very good comparison. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, this is not a review on this guitar, which I do have another video on it. But anyway, so there you go. So that's a fatness knob. Now let's do that one more time. Fatness knob a little lower. You can see that. All the way turned down, and then there we go. You can clearly see it's much thinner sounding, and this is definitely cranked up. It's night and day. It's a beautiful sounding. It's a beautiful sounding guitar, but the pedal does a phenomenal job. Now, the last thing that I want to do is I want to demonstrate the hot switch over here. What does it do? It adds extra clipping to your sound, and that means it just sends it slightly higher up, closer to distortion, as you can see. So this is with the hot pedal off. Hot pedal on. Now watch. Finally, it's getting into the distortion territory very clearly. Playing doesn't do justice to this pedal, but trust me, it's a really nice pedal and I love playing with it. Hopefully you guys had a pretty good idea of what you can do with this pedal. I highly recommend it as a part of your regular arsenal, specifically if you're a blue, even for jazz. I mean, this is a great pedal because you really don't need to crank up the gain or anything. It just gives you that right amount of crunch that you, when you need it, without overbearing anything at all. So that's my take on it. It's one of the finest pedals that I've purchased, and this is a keeper. I mean, I do have a few other things that I will be demoing over time, but this pedal isn't going anywhere. I know that for NAMM 2425 in January, just last month, they had announced a version 2 of this one. It's packaged slightly differently. They said they have tweaked the sound. I don't know how much better that sound can get, but I'm not switching this over to the newer version of it. This is the version 1 of it. And it's phenomenal. It's built phenomenally well. So if you're a gigging musician, if you want to travel with it, not a problem. It's really built incredibly well. So I highly recommend it. I don't know what it's going for, but I bought this one probably a little under $200. I think the new one is $229. Well worth the price. I'm sure you're probably going to run into some deals around Thanksgiving. So anyway, that's my thing. This is not a sponsored video. It is something that I use, and so I highly recommend if you're looking for a very good overdrive pedal, this should be in the top of your list. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna end this review, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.